After 10 years of trying to get pregnant, the woman finally got the great news. But her happiness was short-lived. The doctor looked straight into her eyes and said, "Ma'am, your baby has Down syndrome." Months later, she delivered the baby, and it was me, born completely normal and 100% healthy. Everyone said it was a miracle, and that's what my name means. Hi, I'm Nasa from Alabama. But before I continue my amazing story, click like and subscribe. My dad had a mechanics workshop, and I hardly saw him because he worked so much all the time. Even though Mom came from a rich background, she never helped Dad with money. Isn't that God's will? A man has to sweat and earn his bread and provide for his family. If you want to eat, you better put food on the table. Once when I was 3, Mom and I visited him at the workshop. He was fixing a car and asking me to hand him the plier. I didn't know what it was, so I just picked up the entire toolbox and put it in front of him. He was shocked.
"How did you do that, Nasa?"
"Just like that, Daddy. It's easy."
"Oh my God, you're so strong. Oh, my daughter. No, it's like you're my son."
"Why are you looking so happy, idiot? I don't want a manly daughter. Girls are supposed to be delicate. This is what I get. After 10 years of waiting, I'm taking her to the doctor." The doctor said I was exceptionally strong because my muscle strength and testosterone levels were higher than most girls. But Mom just kept calling me a freak. She decided to leave me with Dad every day at work to help him make more money. 2 years later, Mom gave birth to my little sister, Ella, but she was born with the Down syndrome the doctors had predicted for me. The minute we saw Ella, Dad and I were in love with her, and we made sure she didn't feel different growing up. But Mom just couldn't stop complaining about us. Why is God so mad at me? First, you came out really weird. And now Ella? I must have done something terrible in my life that I'm getting punished for. She was trying to feed Ella as she whined non-stop. And suddenly, Ella spat out all the food on her face. Gosh, I love that kid. Mom also didn't allow us to watch YouTube videos because she said it was a sin to do anything fun. She blocked YouTube, but I found this amazing app called FireGuard. I took Ella to my room and we watched videos all night long. One day when I was at Dad's workshop, a bus suddenly stopped in front of us and a man jumped off.
"Oh my God, girl, are you for real? You just lifted those big tires all by yourself? I'm already seeing you as an Olympic weightlifting champion."
The man introduced himself as a sports coach and asked me to join his school in California. He also gave Dad his card and said he'd be waiting for us to tell him when we could leave. Dad was so excited for me, and I felt like I'd just won the lottery. But when I told Mom, she flipped out. "Are you crazy? I'm not trusting a stranger and leaving the place and the wealth God's given me here. No one is going anywhere." I was super bummed at Mom's reaction, but then little Ella came up to me with a solution.
"What if Mom has nothing? Let's throw all her money away."
OMG, Ella, you're a genius. Yes, let's donate Mom's money to charity. I found a charity organization and filled out all the forms online. But suddenly, I started to lose my nerve. Maybe this isn't such a good idea, Ella. I don't think we should do this.
"Oh, yes, we should."
With that, she clicked on enter, and in a second, Mom lost all her money. Even Dad's workshop was in her name, and it was gone. She threw the biggest tantrum ever and even threatened the organization to return her money, but they refused, and there was nothing she could do about it. Angry and frustrated, she finally agreed to the last option, going to Cali, and she never knew it was us. When we got there, the coach showed us a small house for rent. He also assured us that he'd get special scholarships for Ella and me, and we'd be going to the same school. How can you be happy about this, Nasa? You know how Ella is. What am I supposed to do? Go to school with her and guard her from the bullies? You don't need to do that, Mom. I'll handle it. She's mine. On the first day of school, I dropped Ella in her classroom. When I entered mine, I saw no teacher there, but a girl was catwalking in front of everyone. As I tried to slide past her, she stepped on my foot with her pointed heels. I yelped in pain, but she started yelling at me instead of saying sorry. You idiot. Why did you bomb my show? I was rehearsing for the beauty pageant contest. Oh, your show? I thought this was a classroom, not a stage. Well, you thought wrong. I'm the queen of the school, and I make the rules. And I say the whole world's my stage. Wow, she seemed crazy and really full of herself. Later that day, Ella and I were eating lunch in the cafeteria when Nancy came over and said we were sitting at her table. Just then she saw Ella and she started laughing. Oh, you didn't say you have a sister? Well, I can see why. I mean, you must be so embarrassed by her. Shut up, Nancy, you're just embarrassing yourself. You can't talk to me like that. I told you, I'm the queen here, the hottest girl in school.
Why? Do you have a fever?
I think she does, Ella. Let's help her feel better. And with that, I threw a glass of ice-cold water in her face. The whole cafeteria burst into laughter while Nancy screamed and stormed off. So many people thought Ella was adorable and wanted to be friends with her. Meanwhile, I also started weightlifting practice, and the coach was stunned to see me lifting heavier weights than the boys on the team. One day when I came out of the gym, I saw Ella standing with a sad face outside the dance room. I asked her what had happened, and she cried out, I don't want to be here. These girls are mean. They don't want me on the team. I barged into the dance room, and I wasn't surprised to see Nancy there. Hey, why did you tell my sister she can't be on the dance team? What's wrong with her? What's wrong? Are you blind? It's obvious she can't do fast moves with us, and we don't have forever to teach her. Now be off with your dumb sister. I totally lost it. I walked over to their sound system, pushed over the big speakers, and wrenched out all the wires. As Ella and I walked out, she turned around and locked the door from the outside. That was an awesome moment, but we got caught and ended up in detention. And Mom went nuts when she found out. God, I knew this would happen. Ella is not like everyone, and she can't be with everyone. You were unkind to that girl, and that makes you two sinners. I'm going to go pray now. I don't want to go to hell with you. Our daughters are not unkind. I'm sure there was a good reason. But before he could finish, Mom just pushed him aside and stormed off. Mom is just terrible. The next day at school, I looked for Ella during recess and I couldn't find her anywhere. I was running all over the place, feeling panic rise inside. Where could she be? Just then, I spotted a grand piano in the corridor blocking the janitor's closet. As I stepped closer, I heard Ella crying out for help. Oh my God, Ella, I'm here. I'll get you out, sweetie. With one big push, I swept the piano out of the way and opened the door. Poor Ella came tumbling out in my arms, crying like crazy. Anthony told me to go inside. I was gonna destroy that witch. I stormed off to the dance room with Ella, and before I could get to Nancy, Ella ran straight at her, pushing her aside. They both landed on the floor, and just then a beam fell off the roof, exactly where Nancy was standing seconds ago. Oh my God, Ella had just saved Nancy.
I saw it was falling, so I...
How dare you touch me, you moron? I don't want your disease rubbing off on me. That was the last straw. I walked up to Nancy and gave her a hard slap. You're a heartless bully, Nancy. You think she's weaker than you, so you pick on her. But here she is saving your stupid butt after everything you've done. She's got more heart and strength than you ever will, and you could learn a thing or two from her. We all could, because Ella is freaking amazing. Just then, I turned to see lots of kids had followed us into the dance room, and they were all clapping and cheering for Ella. Everyone started to boo Nancy, and she ran off crying. When we got home, I couldn't wait to tell our parents what a hero Ella had been, but we found the two fighting loudly. I'm not putting up with your embarrassing daughters anymore. My church friends say they are weirdos. Do you know how that makes me feel? I'll stay, only if we give them up for adoption. Decide. That is the easiest decision I've ever had to make. You're a selfish, horrible woman.
and you don't know how to love anyone. So please, for the love of God, get out.
Wow, Dad finally spoke up. Mom shouted and cried, but Dad just threw her bags out on the street, and our lives at home became so much happier. The next day when we were leaving school, Ancy suddenly leapt out from behind a tree and spat at Ella. I was about to attack her when suddenly a well-dressed man stepped in and grabbed Ancy's arm.
What did I just see, Ancy? I can't believe it. How could you be so cruel to this child? You're grounded for a very long time, and you're off the dance team.
Dad, you can't do that.
Keep talking, and I'll ask the principal to expel you myself. Apologize now.
Well, the queen bee finally bowed her head. Also, it turned out that Ancy's dad was a big shot doctor, and he offered to take over all of Ella's medical bills and help out with any therapy she needed. When Mom heard that Ella wouldn't be expensive now, she contacted us by saying that she was sorry and she always knew we were special. But we told her to leave us alone. After a year of training, the coach said it was my time to shine. He entered me into many weightlifting competitions, and my medal collection has just begun. And I always have my biggest supporter cheering me on.
My name is Julie, and My Story Animated will give $1,000 to one lucky person who subscribes in the next 7 days. Tell your friends, your sister, brother, and mom to subscribe now! I have no idea where I was born or who my parents really were. All I ever knew was my orphanage and the kids there. But once when I was 5, I saw a magazine in a trash bin and I fished it out. As I flipped the pages, I came across a picture of a beautiful couple. They looked perfect! I was certain my parents looked like that. I cut out the picture and tucked it under my pillow. The next day, a couple came to the orphanage and the head mother took me to meet them. I looked at their faces and then at the picture in my hand.
Nah, I'm not going with them.
And with that, I ran off to hide. Basically, after that, I refused to get adopted till I met a couple of my dreams. By the time I was in 1st grade, most of my friends had left. One night, as I was looking out the window at the stars, I spotted some paint cans and brushes by a wall. I climbed down and started painting on the side of the building. I thought it looked really good, but the next morning, I woke up to the head mother's screams.
I want everyone downstairs, now!
As I joined the rest outside, she pointed at my painting.
Which one of you brats made this nonsense?
Speak up! Just then, a car drove up to the orphanage, and I was shook! It was a beautiful couple, exactly like the one in my picture. Okay, not exactly, but close enough. Suddenly the woman said, "Oh, wow! Who painted this wall mural?" "Me! It was me!" The head mother turned purple while the couple told me I was so talented. And then they adopted me. When we reached their house, my jaw dropped. It looked more like a palace. They took me to my beautiful room, and a maid walked in with paints and brushes.
You can paint the walls however you like, sweetheart. Go crazy.
For the next 2 years, I lived my best life. Grand birthdays, party on yachts, exotic vacations. My parents kept me by their side and were always boasting to their friends about how talented I was. I felt truly loved. Then one day, in 3rd grade, I went downstairs to find them crying. "Mom? Dad? What's wrong?" "Oh, darling, these are happy tears. I'm pregnant. After trying for 10 years, I can't believe this is happening." I ran forward and hugged them. It would be awesome to have a sibling. I fell in love with baby Polly at first sight. While she and Mom were resting in the hospital room, I went to the vending machine to get candy. But when I returned, the room was empty. I ran to the reception, and the lady there said that my family had just checked out. Wait, what? I felt panic rise in my chest. Just then, a kind-looking doctor approached me. "Sweetheart, is everything okay?" I got lost. Can you take me home, please?" The lady dropped me home, and I stormed off inside. I found my parents in my room, and all my stuff was outside. Some men were slapping on pink paint all over my wall art. "Mom, Dad, I'm here!"
Good to know. Why are you announcing it?
Hello? You guys forgot me at the hospital? "No, I didn't. Did you hit your head somewhere? And can you please pick up your stuff?" Turns out my parents had decided to convert my room to Polly's nursery, and I was shifted to the room in the other wing of the house. As Polly grew older, she had my parents wrapped around her little finger. She could do no wrong. Once when she was 2, We were having dinner when she jumped onto the table and pushed my bowl of hot soup onto my lap. Gosh, Polly, what's wrong with you?
Don't talk to her like that. She's just a baby.
She doesn't know what she's doing. As I stormed off to change, I didn't feel too sure about that. By the time Polly was 4, my parents felt worried because she still only spoke in her baby language. One time when I was watching TV, she suddenly climbed onto the couch and brought her face close to my ear.
Julie, I hate you. You're disgusting.
What? What did you just say?
You heard me.
And with that, she smiled and started watching TV. Just then, Mom and Dad walked in and I shouted, "You won't believe this! Polly can talk! Like proper words!" "What? Oh, my baby, I missed it!" "What did she say?" "She said she hates me, and I'm disgusting."
Wow, Julie. Really? She just started talking and she's saying words like disgusting? What rubbish!
I swear! Oh, be quiet. Polly, if you can talk, say, "I love you, Mommy."
Baba Mumuka.
You've got us excited over nothing, Julie. I don't know why you're turning into such a brat. Oh my God! I was convinced my baby sister was a psychopath. One night, I looked at the symptoms of psychopaths online, and they were usually highly intelligent and used big words from a young age. Polly seemed to fit the description perfectly. She started talking properly in front of everyone soon, but that just made things worse. When I was in 11th grade, and Polly was 8, my parents decided to host a grand New Year's party. As I was getting dressed, I looked up in the mirror to see Polly standing behind me, holding a pair of scissors. "Hey, that's dangerous. Give it to me." She gave me a look that sent shivers down my spine.
You didn't say please.
And then she grabbed her long blonde curls and snipped them off. Oh my God, why'd you do that?
Oh, you'll see.
And suddenly, her bottom lip started to quiver and tears welled up in her eyes.
Mom! Dad! Look what Julie did! My beautiful curls! This is such a tragedy!
Mom and Dad came running, and they were beyond furious. They wouldn't even listen to me.
We know you're jealous of Polly, but we never thought you'd go this far.
Sometimes I wonder if we made a mistake adopting you. Sometimes I think I made a mistake too, thinking you were the perfect parents. With that, I ran off to the park across the street. I was sitting on the swings when someone joined me.
Hey, is everything okay? Why are you here by yourself at night?
I live right across the street, and I'm fine. Why are you here?
Oh, I just moved here with my aunt, in the house next to that huge mansion.
I felt myself warming up to his kind face, but just then, my tummy let out a loud growl. God, how embarrassing! But he didn't laugh. He just leapt off the swing and said,
I gotta head home for dinner. Would you like to join me and my aunt?
When I got to his house, I was in for a surprise. His aunt was that doctor who dropped me from the hospital years ago, and she actually recognized me. As Lucas walked me back home, a clock somewhere struck midnight, and fireworks exploded all over the sky. Happy New Year! He suddenly took my hand, and my heart raced a little.
Everyone should have someone to kiss on New Year's Eve. Happy New Year, Julie.
He pulled me closer, and I leaned in for a kiss. My parents decided to give me the silent treatment for the next few weeks, but I didn't care. I'd spend all my time after school painting in my room or hanging out at Lucas's place. We'd started dating, and I was loving every second of it. One night, I let Lucas in through my window, and we were making out when suddenly we heard the lock on the door click, and someone flung it open. It was Polly. Oh my God, how did you open the door?
I have keys to all the rooms. Duh. I come here all the time. So,
why are you keeping your boyfriend a secret from me? You're seriously asking why? Maybe because you're a complete psycho and you'll find a way to ruin anything good in my life?
Jeez, you're so melodramatic. So, Lucas, how soon can you marry Julie and take her away?
What? I can't marry her right now, but...
Wrong answer!
And with that, she fled the room. 2 minutes later, my parents burst in to find me sleeping peacefully.
Where's the boy?
What? What boy? Polly said you had a boy in your room. Well, I was sleeping, so I don't know what crazy Polly saw. Go ahead and look. My parents searched my room and the servants searched the grounds and found nothing. After they finally left, I lifted the loose floorboard in my room and Lucas crept out from under it. That Polly thought she knew everything, but I'd been here longer than her. But to my horror, the door flung open again, and my parents and Polly were standing there.
See? I told you he was still here.
How did she even know? All hell broke loose as my parents called over Lucas's aunt and threatened to hand him to the police for breaking in. Please, sir, it won't happen again.
You bet it won't. Do you even know who I am? Stay away from my house, or you'll regret it.
As Lucas's aunt dragged him off, Dad turned to me.
You're grounded for eternity. God knows what kind of people your parents were, because you seem like a really bad egg.
Well, by that logic, your parents must have been big jerks.
How dare you talk like that? After everything we've done for you, you're just an orphan no one wanted, and we saved you from that miserable place.
No, you took me because you just wanted a talented child to show off. But since Polly came, you've reminded me every day that I'm not your kid. As I paced around my room furiously, my eyes fell on a stuffed teddy bear on the shelf. It was the only present Polly had given me once. And suddenly, I had a realization why. I pulled out the teddy bear's eyes, and I saw what I'd suspected. There was a tiny camera behind one of them. Polly had been using it to spy on me. I looked straight into the camera. Polly, you're a creep, but this is the last time you'll mess with me. And with that, I ripped it out and smashed it with my foot. That night, I packed my paintings and climbed out the window, leaving that house behind forever. And it felt good. But I didn't go to Lucas. I went back to the orphanage.
Well, I just knew you'd be back one day. You can stay, but you'll have to earn your keep.
I started teaching kids in the orphanage, and I felt happier than I had in ages. One day, as I was going to class, a car drove up, and I was shocked to see Lucas and his aunt. Lucas ran to me and gave me a bear hug. His aunt took my hand next and said, Julie, Lucas and I were wondering, would it be okay if I officially adopted you? Thank you for that, but I don't need a parent. I can take care of myself. I'm just happy to have you as my friend. I kept dating Lucas while I worked my way through college. Soon after my graduation, he went down on one knee with a ring. And of course I said yes. We got married in a small ceremony, but I made sure to invite all the kids from the orphanage. We had the sweetest wedding day ever. A year later, I gave birth to a beautiful baby boy, and my heart soared with joy. I'll work hard to give you the best life possible, and I'll make you always know that you're truly, truly loved.